Where Colin was right.
Anthony Richardson, he's fun to watch, but you got to complete stuff from the pocket. It's hard, I get it. But yesterday, he got hurt again. He's reckless. I understand loving athletic quarterbacks. Nobody's a bigger fan than Lamar. I've been defending him for 4 or 5 years. But the Anthony Richardson thing, if Shane Styken can't fix it, and he's one of the really smart guys in this league, if he can't fix it, I don't think you can fix it. Yesterday, again, Anthony Richardson got hurt.
Where Colin was right.
Yeah, so I want to talk about this because, I think Anthony Richardson has the potential to be a problem, right? And might not be coming along as people would have hoped. And I talked about this in the previous video, but the truth of the matter is that the Colts instantly looked better with Joe Flacco, right? The Pittsburgh Steelers have a great defense, a really hard, physical, smartly coached defense. And with Anthony Richardson, the Colts had one of the bottom third down conversion rates, right? 32%. With Joe Flacco, they were 53.3%, which would be second in the league. They instantly became second in the league. Third down conversion with Joe Flacco. With Flacco, you get such more clarity, more calming presence, more veteran leadership, right? You can actually build an identity out of the consistency of Joe Flacco. That Anthony Richardson is just too all over the place. I keep saying this because AR either looks like he's literally the greatest quarterback we've ever seen in our entire lives, or he looks just downright awful, right? It really is. It's one or the other. He literally either is throwing a 70-yard touchdown or he's throwing the ball kind of comically hilariously, like 10 feet over the head of the wide receiver to the defensive, So it's just such a problem. Those are the things that you're not going to get with Joe Flacco. And we've seen what Shane Styken was able to do with Gardner Minshew. We saw how successful they were. Flacco is better. Flacco is more mature, more experienced. Shane Styken is a great coach, a great offensive mind, a top offensive mind in the NFL. And so is Kevin O'Connell. And you see what happens when Kevin O'Connell got Sam Darnold. That team is just rolling. These great offensive coaches, when you give them a competent, organized, intelligent quarterback, they get to execute the offense. And Joe Flacco now at this point in his career is just trying to bring the vision of Shane Steichen's offense to the field. He's going to Shane and saying, what do you want me to do? What do you need me to do? And he's just going to understand it. Joe Flacco doesn't need to learn the game. Sam Darnold actually needed to relearn some stuff from, Shanahan and Kevin O'Connell. There was a lot of relearning that needed to be worked on. Joe Flacco doesn't need that. Joe Flacco hasn't really had the great luxury of having great offensive coaches around him necessarily. He was, he came up in a more defensive-oriented NFL. So now we saw what he was able to do with Stefanski. And I got news for you. Shane Steichen is a big, gigantic step better than Stefanski. So I'm excited to see what the Colts are going to be able to do with Joe Flacco. I really, really am. I think Joe Flacco still has a lot of game left in him. And enough where Shane Steichen will be able to maximize it. They beat the Steelers. The Steelers have been rolling. The Steelers defensively, they put up more. The Colts were able to put up more points than the Steelers gave up in all three of their first games combined. That means something. That's telling you something. That's telling you that this offense can get going. It can have an identity. It can have stability. It's easier for the other players to play around a Joe Flacco because they understand where the game is going. It's not these constant swings. They know that they have a chance. I mean, 53 to 32% third down conversion difference that's just massive. That really is. This is a bigger win than I think people realize. Because it shows, this was also obviously Joe Flacco first time stepping in. It shows you what the baseline of this offense can be. This should be the worst that the offense is right now. Because Joe Flacco just, came off the bench against a great defense. So I think the Colts can really turn this into something. I think they can be legitimate contenders in the AFC now with Joe Flacco. I really, really do. I feel like the defense is going to know that they have a chance now. The offense is going to know that they have a chance now. The coaching staff is going to feel like they have a chance now. I think with AR, they're like, we're really excited about him because we see what he can do, but everyone knows that there's problems there. When you have like a 50% completion percentage, you know there's problems, and everyone's feeling it. The O-line, the running backs, the wide receivers, the coach staff, they're all thinking, I just hope he can get it right. Can he right this ship? Or what AR are we going to get today? The one who's throwing that 70-yard pass and ripping off a 45-yard run? Or are we getting the one that looks like we just like randomly threw a 15-year-old in an NFL game? And it's a frustrating situation. This is not meant to rip on AR at all. Because I'm not saying abandon him. I'm not saying give up on him. It's just, you got to get some stability here. You got to get some momentum. And quite frankly, Indianapolis Colts fans, if you don't realize this, Shane Styken is an amazing coach. And until you get a quarterback that can help unleash what Shane can do, you're going to be holding him back. And the Colts will be held back. It's actually amazing that you have Shane Styken. So just get a quarterback who can run an offense, and you're going to seriously win some games. You're going to offer some serious trouble for some teams. The way how this game was going before, the way how their season was going before, it was like, I don't think the Colts can make the playoffs. But Joe Flacco, I think they absolutely can. And they could be a team in the playoffs that people are like, I know it's Joe Flacco. I know he's 98 years old, but my God, Shane Styken's got this team going. Again, look no further than Sam Darnold and the Minnesota Vikings with Kevin O'Connell. That's how much a difference a quarterback can be. And you've already experienced this last year with Minshew. Joe Flacco has the experience, the veteran leadership. He's way more poised than Minshew. And I really think at this point, he's going to really be able to deeply understand everything Shane wants him to do. And I think that's a really, really exciting prospect. I'm honestly really, really excited to see how this all unfolds. I want AR to be healthy. I wish him the absolute best, but I hope we really get to see what Shane Styken gets to do with Joe Flacco. And I think the Colts will be happy with what they see as well. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about Anthony Richardson and Joe Flacco and kind of where the Colts can go from here? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment, so whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions. Let's get in some fights. But ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and I'd absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to. Something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much, and see you next time.